Do you guys want me to tell you about how to play with the Ouija board?
Does it just like move? Like, do you feel
Yeah, it'll just.
Wait, is it just like moving?
Sometimes they need
What
to
does it feel like? Why don't you describe it?
It's like pulling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm very stressed right now.
Aww.
It's so you really feel like you're not.
I'm not touching. My hand is like hovering.
Wait, but it just spelled out here. It just went H-E-R-E.
Where?
it did?
Where's the
Yes,
H? Where's the
it
H?
started at H-E-R-E.
Welcome back to the Overheard LA podcast. I'm Emily, the editor at Overheard LA, and today a cat. Duh.
I'm Justina. I am the head of history at Overheard, and I am myself.
I mean, a little bit. We have a very spooky episode today, if you can't tell by the general vibe in here. This is our Halloween episode, which is very exciting. Our friend Nick Lehman is hanging out in the office today. Nick is a writer, actor, Virgo, and very funny person you may know from TikTok. You're actually one of the founding fathers of Overheard's TikTok.
Huge honor.
Huge honor. And he also writes on Loot, among other things. So, hi, Nick.
Hello.
What are you for Halloween?
Today I am a fireman, fire chief.
Chief.
With a ghost necklace.
Don't sell yourself short.
I mean, I looked in my closet and this is the first and only thing I could find, which honestly I feel like for a gay man, like only having a fire hat is kind of lame.
That's all you
I
got.
should have like a whole costume box.
What's been like your best Halloween costume?
My best Halloween costume?
Just for ideas.
I usually go for just like very minimal slut. So I can't. I'm trying to think if I could point to anything very good. I went as like a grandma in high school with like
A slutty grandma?
No, this was like it was not like a hot grandma. This was like white wig, glasses, fat ass, you know. I mean, I guess that could also be considered slutty and hot.
I think
I like that.
slutty's a mindset.
Yeah, but no, I usually go very simple, so that's why I have the fireman hat on.
My favorite type of costume is when somebody takes a thing that is like not slutty at all and sluts it up.
Oh yeah.
Like
Interesting.
Yeah.
like you can make anything slutty
You can make anything slutty.
if you want, and it's okay on Halloween. To go with the spooky vibe of this Halloween episode, we have a lot of ghosting stories we're going to talk about because apparently every single person that follows us has been ghosted in like an obscene way, and they all sent in their stories. We also have a clairvoyant coming to the office today.
I'm excited.
So-
I'm excited. I'm scared.
I know. I'm terrified.
Heard that and I was like, this could either be great or terrifying.
This is like a legit psychic medium who is going to summon people from the other side for like us.
Fun.
Yeah,
I have a list in my head. I'm like, oh, hopefully not that person.
Totally. I'm like, bring forward the good ones.
Yeah, I'm like,
not
you're
the
talking about a clairvoyant and ghosting stories. Combine the two. I'm afraid of the list of people who it could be. I also feel like it'll be interesting. She like brings someone up who you're like, oh, I haven't thought about that person in years.
I know. That's
Wait,
crazy.
They're literally they're trying to connect with me through a medium. That's kind of embarrassing for them.
I just don't
so
know if my
true.
grandma like wants to be on a podcast.
Right. That's
you know,
true. That's
like,
a really
does
good
it run in the
point.
family?
Yeah.
We'll
Honestly,
find
it's
out.
going to be all the white straight men from my past who are like, put me on the podcast.
Yeah.
I love podcasts.
Step aside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit nervous, but since we are doing ghosting stories first, and the clairvoyant is also going to tell us about the most haunted places in LA.
Ooh.
Don't you wish we had a soundboard right now?
I do. I
play
think
like
that
a
maybe
ghost
we could
sound?
cut one in. Ooh. I feel like we could brainstorm some great like haunted places
Yeah.
in LA, like places where we are absolutely never
yeah.
going back to.
I feel like LA is like generally cursed.
Yeah, I also feel like she might be talking more about like spooky ghost places, and I'm talking about like places that I avoid because I'm afraid of the crowd.
Like places I've blacked out.
yes,
Yeah.
like alleys I've fallen asleep in, things like that.
Yeah, like the bungalow is definitely haunted.
Oh yeah,
The bungalow gets shit on all the time, but you're right.
I mean, I like it, but it's
I've had some
cursed.
really great times at the bungalow, but I have
best
to be
times.
I have to be the most drunk I've ever been in my entire life.
yeah. The best times of my life, like pre-25 at the bungalow.
Yeah. I mean, and by the way, similarly, like the other side of that for a gay man, like West Hollywood, love it so much. Went this past weekend, spooky. It's overrun by like 19-year-old girls with fake IDs, which I'm like,
Really?
more power to you.
Yeah.
But then like I'm getting pushed.
No.
And I feel like they're gonna say something terrible about me to my face. And I'm like, this is a safe
They would
space.
never. They would never.
No,
hope
teenagers are terrifying.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just more afraid of them.
Have you
because-
ever like walked by a group of teenagers and been judged and
Oh,
been like,
yeah.
this is the scariest thing I've ever
Oh yeah,
experienced?
pointing, whispering. Talk about spooky. That's
That's spooky. Also, I think, like, I know it's an obvious one, but I think I have this theory that I think the Hollywood Forever Cemetery is actually haunted by a bunch of ghosts who are like, stop fucking coming here and watching movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm trying to be dead.
I went to a Fred Again concert at the Hollywood Cemetery, which was so fun. But the entire time I was looking around, I was just like, this feels really wrong.
Like,
It's a little
do you
off.
think
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
annoyed with people
But don't
having
they kind of
picnics?
know- isn't there like a huge wait list to get a gravesite there?
Oh, is there?
Can you even still
That's
get
so
one?
LA.
I don't know. Yeah, by the way, they're like, yeah, it's like a Riot
It's full.
membership. Yeah. No, I think that it's
You
like.
have to apply.
By the way, this is me saying this as if I'm a pro. I have absolutely no context, no idea. But I feel like people like know when they're gonna get buried there. They're like, oh, well, I'll be with people watching movies, and
Isn't it like Marilyn Monroe is buried there?
yeah.
And did
maybe-
she really think people were going to be eating Trader Joe's charcuterie?
To be
on
fair,
her
I'm not sure
grave?
Marilyn Monroe knew that she was gonna die, so I'm not sure she was like ready.
Okay. Yep.
That's another conversation for another time.
I mean,
though.
the medium can tell us
Oh yeah,
a
exactly.
little bit. We asked you guys, like, send in your craziest ghost stories, and they range from like very benign to like, this can't be real, to very, very unhinged. Here are some of our favorites. Let's see. Told me our energies from past lives didn't align before blocking me.
Well, I want to know like how deep we're into this. Is
How
this,
many
like,
lives
If this is the
back?
first message, brilliant. Honestly, I can't even get mad about that. But if it's like late in the conversation,
tough?
also is the energy over text?
Or I mean, maybe they've been on a few dates. I feel like people. That is the one note that we need to add is like, please give us
Give us
context.
context. Did you see the thing someone just submitted about the co-star?
No.
Someone like just messaged us and was like, I was on a date yesterday and a guy pulled up the co-star app on the date, asked me my like whatever and typed it in, realized we weren't compatible and left.
Jeez.
Like, that's unhinged.
I mean,
and that's an ad for
insane.
CoStar.
Sponsored by co-star.
I feel like I would do that though.
Really?
I
Yeah.
would be like, it's
Was
not
it
gonna
you?
work.
It was you the whole time. Did you self-submit?
It was me.
Yeah.
I actually-
Oh my God, Justina like wasn't picking up her phone last night.
I know a guy who had another guy over, and then after they had sex, the guy was like, oh, and by the way, like they were talking about their signs. He's like, I think I was a Scorpio or something. And he was like, I have to go right
You guys,
now.
justice for Scorpios, please, I beg. I'm a Scorpio. We're not that bad. Like, we get shit on everywhere.
Yeah.
What
Nobody
are the
likes-
bad things about? I don't know.
I
anything
don't know.
about it. Okay.
I don't know what they are.
This one also unhinged. Left me mid-date to go to the gym and never spoke to me again. I think anytime it happens in real life and not over text, like that's insane.
Yes. Also, did he say, I'm going to go,
Yeah.
I'm going to the Golds right now? Like,
Like in the middle of the, also, was it like a day-long date?
Was it a day date?
Yeah, like it was dinner and he was
Yeah.
like, hey, sorry, apps are here, like gotta go.
So this one made me laugh out loud. Just guy asked me to coffee, canceled because he had to vacuum his room and never answered another text.
I relate to that. I do.
That's some shit I
I'm
might
like,
do.
I'm a huge psycho. I just got my own apartment for the first time. I vacuum twice a day. I'm like a psychopath
But would you
about
cancel
cleaning.
a date with somebody and
No,
never
but I would use it
return?
as an excuse. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm just such a clean freak. I gotta go. But also, like, maybe that's a good reason. I feel like these are all good reasons to be like, well, I
Yeah.
should not have been
Sometimes,
with that
like,
person.
I'm not gonna be equivocally like ghosting people is a bad thing because, like,
No.
I've done it, and
Yeah.
sometimes it is the easiest way out of a
I
situation.
also think there are a lot of situations where people are like, I got ghosted, and I'm like, it was, you texted for a week, it's
Yeah,
not like,
yeah.
I think ghosting, it also it depends on, again, as we said, context, but like length of how long it was. Have you
Yeah.
been seeing each other in person?
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. But
Have you ever been ghosted in like a crazy way?
Oh my God, this is a very LA way. This guy like courted me, and then we were seeing each other, we're going on multiple dates, and then on like the third date, he was like, so like, can we make a YouTube video together? I was like, I'm not really into that. This
Wow.
kind, so whatever. And then I never heard from him again.
Was he any version of like a creator or?
He was trying to break into being a creator.
No, that's
Oh, yeah.
awful.
Oh yeah.
So he was like using you
Yes.
for.
Wait,
Yes.
hold on. And then he ghosted you?
Yes, which by the way, again, like I was purely doing this because of the way that he looked. Like there was nothing else there, and I was just like, this is a fun period of my life. But yeah, that was. I mean, honestly, it made for a good story.
Yeah.
And now he's still definitely trying to be a content creator.
3 years later, he's still trying.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bless.
Oh yeah. Doing the scariest little ads.
Wait, how
out
did you
there.
know it was 3 years
Didn't you
ago?
say that was like years ago?
Yeah, it was a couple years.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm like, I missed
She's
that
the
whole-
clairvoyant. She's the clairvoyant. Yeah.
Emily's is actually the same.
Yeah.
I mean, oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was in like a casting situation,
Oh
basically.
yeah. It was like a self-tape audition.
Yeah,
type deal.
just tell him to go down to like space station and sit in the waiting room and find someone.
Yeah. I wish him well. Kind of.
No, you
No.
don't have to.
Yeah.
Shame is dead in LA. That makes makes me so angry.
This is the
like,
Scorpio coming out.
It's not even the Scorpio. It's the the decent human. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Well, then him also being like offended that I would say no to that.
Right.
Him
That's
just being
what I'm
like,
saying
well,
is,
like, why is it because of who I am? I'm like, it's because of literally everything.
All of
every
the
single
above.
every single reason you could think of. That's the reason.
I'm still kind of stuck on like the wait list to get into Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. Again, if someone out there fact check me. This could be totally.
Well, we don't
totally
have a
wrong.
fact checker, luckily. So my like gears are grinding to like, oh, so like who do you have to know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Is it like I have to like know someone to get like a room at Cedars to have a baby?
Also, if your grandpa's in there, like, do you get to cut the list?
A
Is there like
legacy.
Maybe they have
nepotism?
the,
Yeah.
big, what are they called? Like when you get like the family
tomb.
Like a
plan?
plot. A plot. Yes. A tomb. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a Verizon plan. It's called a tomb.
Is that?
Yeah.
I don't know that much about cemeteries. Yeah.
Or like the plot is the space. Again, we don't need a fact checker
clearly
here. Don't worry
experts
about it.
at
Everything we're
this.
saying is correct.
I think it's a plot when it's like a space, and if a tomb is when you like put some money down and you get like
when you get like a house.
yes,
Yeah.
like a little dog. Not a dog house. That was the wrong word.
No, but like it's a big dog house.
It's like a little she shed.
yeah. Yes, exactly. Again, nothing we're saying is correct,
Yeah.
but just believe it.
The experts
like,
of the cemeteries.
The Nepo baby theory,
Yeah.
I feel like does track.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Oh, like, well, my grandpa is buried at Hollywood forever.
My
so.
grandpa has like a huge fucking house.
He sent me a voice note of his Taylor Swift "You Belong with Me" cover and then ghosted.
What?
Respect or no?
That might be the worst one.
That might be the worst one. But like creative,
Did they respond? Like they got the.
a voice note. Which
then-
you do those. I hate voice notes.
I love a voice note, but I'm not recording a song on a voice note.
Yeah.
By the way, the mechanics behind that, like you start it, the phone goes off, but you're gonna do it again. That sounds terrible. Like he also in that situation seems like vulnerable
Yeah.
and warm, and he's into Taylor Swift. Like that sounds like a little bit of
the
boyfriend
first
material.
plus. I was like, oh, he like knows the words to a Taylor Swift song. Like that's already points.
I wonder if
But
she also in LA. She works in music. He just wanted her. There you go. You never know.
I was hoping he had shame. I thought maybe the
Yeah,
shame.
he had shame. No, he's shameless.
there just needs to be just the shame nun just walking around LA to all of these. We should have like a shame gong.
Oh yeah.
Can we get that for our soundboard? This is slowly becoming like a tacky radio show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would support that.
Have you ever been ghosted in a crazy way and want to just let it out?
No, that's the thing is I'm like, I think I just date semi-responsible people where it's like, if it's not working, it's not working. And I think I like catch a vibe. Like, I'm like, if it's not working, like we know, like I'm not trying to like chase somebody if it isn't working.
Yeah.
What is the like woo-woo? Like, I don't chase, I attract. I feel
yeah.
like that's like,
Is that a woo thing or is that something Khloe Kardashian said?
no, it was recently refeatured on the Kardashians, but I don't think they invented
Spiritual
that saying.
leader
Yeah.
Khloe with a K.
I don't think it was Chloe. I think it was
Yeah.
Kendall. Another spiritual K
I feel like
leader.
that's a good, healthy thing, though.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I
Manifesting.
do think, especially I'm sure as we've all gotten older, and like, I'm a crazy person. All my friends are crazy people, but watching people like run after something that's just like not gonna happen, it's
Yeah.
like, aren't you tired?
Well, also, in fairness, this is now. I definitely did that when I was younger.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
insane,
yeah.
like
Yes.
chasing men.
Yeah.
But trying to like win people over used to feel like so much more of a thing. Whereas, I think as you date more and more, you're like, why would I win someone over who's not for me?
They're not into this. I'm not gonna waste it anymore. I'm tired.
I'm tired. That's what it
It's
is.
an energy thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to go to bed. I don't
Yeah.
want to chase you.
That's the thing. I think people are all like, oh my God, like you get so much more clarity when you get older, and like you just like don't like you care so much more about yourself. I'm like, no, I'm tired. It's not that I care more about myself. It's that I don't have the energy to run after this person and be like, do you love me? I'm just more so just like, this isn't working. I'm tired.
We got to get ready for Angela to come in. I'm like shaking.
Oh, I gotta emotionally prepare for that.
I know. So I have so many questions for her too. Like I have so many questions for her as like a human, but also, okay. So let's get ready.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome, Angela Level. Angela is a psychic medium, animal communicator, and creative consultant for film and TV. She hosts the podcast Dear Witchy Poo, and this is where the magic happens, and also teaches metaphysical workshops on psychic development, mediumship, and magic. Welcome.
What a great CV.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, and welcome to our Halloween episode.
Thank you for being Earth signs willing to entertain this.
What's your sign, Roll?
Sagittarius with a Leo moon and a Sag rising. It can be very annoying, so I apologize if I get a little excited.
No, I don't think we could ever find you annoying. Not at all.
Oh,
No,
you guys
no.
are so excited to have you.
I'm so happy. Okay, well then I'm gonna get really excited as well.
Oh, good.
Tell us and for everyone listening, like what you do exactly, because I know there's like psychic and medium and clairvoyant. Could you explain what all those things are?
I would love to. Okay, so a common misconception with psychics is that all psychics can tell you your future. And I have learned over years of swapping with psychics that most of them can't. And it's kind of like, and I will tell you guys all the secrets and all the things to look out for too with like phony psychics, because there are a lot. I won't even watch the Miss Cleo documentary because I'm scared. Somebody told me that they teach like tricks in it to get people to stay on a reading longer, and I don't want it in my subconscious. Like I don't even want it. But there is a lot of stuff to it. Like there are psychics who can see your present and kind of tell you what you're going through. And they can be good at guiding you and telling you what to expect in the near future. But then there are seers who can actually see the future. And it's really rare that you can find a psychic who can actually tell you your future or like where you're going to be a year from now, you know? And whenever you find one of those, which like I have like 2 that I found I can swap with, you know, but when you find one of those, like that's the one you actually want to pay. I also have claircognizance and clairsentience where like you just get a feeling or you just have information dumped in your brain. I was on the first date with my boyfriend, my current boyfriend, and he was like, yeah, I don't know, my ex-wife just like freaked out and ran away. And I was like, she was cheating with a coworker. This was our first date, and I was like, I was like, sorry.
Were you right?
Well, yeah, I was right.
Oh my God.
Did he know that, or was that breaking news?
No.
What?
Yeah, somebody else said it too. Like he got information from someone, and then I need to be right. Like I get like very Sagittarius. Like I want to know if I was right or wrong. And so I found her LinkedIn. I found she had a baby with this guy. They were working together at the time. I found it all. And then I told him a few weeks later, and he was in a much better place accepting the news. But like he was really cool about it.
Can you like turn it off? Like, are you ever in line at Whole Foods and there's just like spirits and guides coming at you?
Yeah. And I was just telling the story yesterday. Like I'll be at the gym and I'll be like really vibing high and like on the Stairmaster and all my endorphins are pumping. And then I'll realize my aura is like all out and juicy, and then somebody gets on the machine.
Your
next
auras
to me.
go to Equinox.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, they're in my aura. Ooh, and I have to pull it back in. It's like when your cervix gets touched at the doctor. It's like that. And then I have like a full like meltdown where I have to get over it. And normally when I'm in public, my aura is very close, like it's in my body. But it's funny because I see people sometimes and their auras are all out and they're so affected and they're like sensitive, and then they're calling themselves empaths when they're really just like not in control of their auras. And it gets really messy. And everybody has different abilities. I mean, I'm really lucky because I came in hot and I had a lot of people in my family who already were. And like I had, like deities showing up. I mean, I have memories of infancy of like seeing stuff. I have a friend who's a psychic and she has business hours where she won't let people in. Oh. And she's really good at it.
And do like dead people respect business hours?
Not often. I learned this in college though. Like I learned how to get them out in college, but I had like,
how do you get them out?
Oh my God. Well, this is where like Jesus is great. And I'm not talking about
wait, like actual Jesus?
Yeah, actual Jesus. I don't know if he was a real person, but he's real now. And I see all these things that people believe in all the time. I saw a freaking unicorn with someone a couple months ago, and I was like, are unicorns real? Or did enough people believe in them that we created them because we're so powerful? Like that is how I think most of the deities exist because people are so powerful. They willed them into existence. I actually get a really good vibe from Jesus. I've seen him since I was a baby. Like he's great. He's actually super hot. He's
Chill
like,
guy?
Yeah. And he's like very sensual. Like Jesus is like very sensual.
You heard it here first. Jesus is hot.
I mean, he is.
I mean, he's a good looking guy.
He's like this hot Middle Eastern.
he's ripped.
Yeah. And he's Pisces or Aries.
Yeah, he's got like a six pack.
Yes!
Just a little glistening. Like,
Yes, yeah.
We were joking earlier about places in LA that are haunted.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm actually curious from your perspective, like, one, if there's a ghost in here, I don't know if I want you to tell us. I would do, actually. But also, like, are there places in LA that are like filled with ghosts?
LA is so haunted. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, tell us.
There are spots of Griffith Park from that fire, but then there was like some haunted house up there too where a woman died in it. So Griffith Park has a lot of spirits. I own a hill in Eagle Rock. I'm really proud. I used magic to get it. I own land in LA. Like, how do you not believe in magic?
That is magical.
I don't make enough money to own a hill in Eagle Rock, but like that thing is so haunted. But LA has a lot of really the creepy little bars downtown too. What is the one? I think it's called Wolves. Have you guys been there? No. Is it still there? That one I picked up a lot of energy. The Queen Mary is obviously super haunted.
Oh yeah, that's
it's. I feel like. In my experience, anything that I've read is haunted in this town. When I go there, I'm like, oh yeah, it's super haunted.
When you say it's haunted, is that like there's spirits like trapped in there? Like they're staying? Do they move? What does that mean?
It's a couple different things. So sometimes ghosts are just imprints. Like I read this thing where they said, oh, Roosevelt Hotel, people see Marilyn Monroe there. And I'm like, she's not haunting that place. Like, but she was such a powerful, iconic spirit that, and sometimes like when you're burning bright or there's a traumatic event or like when your vibe is high, you're gonna like burn. So like if you think of it like film, you know, or a lot of people call it the Matrix still, which I think is still kind of fun. She like burned her impression on that place. So when they see her, it's just a loop of her.
Oh,
and it's usually just a loop. But then, and I'm not telling this to scare people, I'm telling this to encourage you to meditate. George Harrison had this amazing quote about why, and I'm going to paraphrase, I can never remember what he said, but he said, I don't meditate for enlightenment as much as I meditate so that when I die, I go into the light. And that has always stayed with me because so many actual ghosts, like earthbound spirits, they had shame or guilt or trauma. And when the light opened up and called them home, they were like too rattled or they didn't feel worthy of it.
I'm giving that shame back that I said I had before. I was just talking earlier that I have taken on the shame of all the people of LA. So I would like to
get rid of it.
Back to everybody.
Get rid of it today.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, and also
it doesn't serve, shame serves no purpose.
Speaking of Marilyn Monroe, because we were debating this earlier, at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, are any of the spirits there upset about people picnicking and watching movies on their graves?
No, they wanted it.
Great. Yes, they're LA. They love it.
They wanted it.
I had a crazy makeout against the gates one night with a peacock over us. It was so hot. It was when I first got, it was in October. It was when I first got back
if that's
to
not
town.
positive vibes, then I don't know what it is.
Right after COVID, I'm like,
Is it hard dating when you have the abilities you have? Because like, are you like hearing things and unable to say things, or have you ever dated another clairvoyant? Like, what is that like?
I haven't dated another psychic, but I will say I've like been in love with 2 trans men, and trans people are magic, and I think that's why they're going for them right now because they burned the witches, you know, they kill what they can't understand. But also I think, you know, the church is always like anti-sex because sex is power, sex is magic, like sex magic is very real. And it's interesting that they're gunning for trans people when they didn't care about trans people for so long. But then the 2 I've loved are like straight up seeing stuff constantly. And they just think other people see this stuff, which is so adorable.
Interesting.
But yeah, my partner, I'm blown away by the stuff that he can do. Like he's such a master manifester, and the other one too. I'm still really good friends with the other one because I was like, I can't have you out of my life. Like you're one of the only people who's ever seen fairies who I know. You know, like when you find somebody who can see that stuff, like it's just out of this world. You know, except it's in this world, and that's the sad thing is so many people have turned themselves off to it.
It's crazy.
My mind is blown right now. Like, I
know,
feel
me
like I
too.
just can't even form a thought. Can you tell me more about the guides? Like, who are our guides?
Okay, so you have like, I had a guide for a little bit, and she was just this little old lady I picked up when I was in Florida during the pandemic. Wouldn't do that again if I went back in time. But she was just this,
Go to Florida or pick up a little old lady?
she was great, but like she was very like tough old Florida woman. And she had raised a bunch of kids and like gotten them off drugs. And I didn't know her, but she showed up as this guide for me. And she was very no nonsense and like kind of harsh on me. And I needed it. Like she was kicking me in my pants, and she's gone now because you swap your guides out all the time.
Oh, and they're not related? Like, they don't have to be
Very
related?
rarely. My grandfather's with me all the time, and he's great. And he was my favorite family member. And he's like, like the family I don't talk to, he's like, screw them, they suck. Like, he really is on my side.
Yeah.
Usually the dead come to you and want to make amends, but then sometimes they'll say really fucked up stuff too. Like they'll ride you about something you did wrong, and those are usually the ones who didn't move into the light. Like if they went into the light, they got their, you get like your little box of memories, and you like sit with yourself, and you're like, oh my god, that was all so fast and insignificant. You're like, you just like get like this time out to really sit with yourself, and then you come back. And it usually takes like 3 to 5 years to be able to come back because you got to rest.
Oh.
Not with animals, though. I read people who's like, I get bookings where people I've read regularly, and they came home and their cat was dead. And they want to find out what happened. And I'll get on the phone with them, and the cat comes right back. Like animals, for some reason, don't need to rest like we do. I think it's because they're just better than us. When I see people's past lives, they're usually like really traumatic. And then they haven't been in here for like hundreds of years because they're still traumatized from the past life. And like this one woman I read, she was like a lady in a tower, and the other tower caught on fire, and her baby girl asphyxiated. And oh my God, because I'm seeing it like a movie when I do it. And she's like holding the baby in her arms, and it was so horrible. And this was the first past life reading I gave for money. I was only doing friends, and then she heard me talk about my podcast years ago, and then I started doing it professionally. And she told me after that reading, she was crying, and she's like, this is why I won't have children in this life. And she wanted to have children. But then she told her mom about it, and her mom goes, oh my God, this is why when you were little, you would put all your babies in a stroller and park them by the door every night before you went to bed, and you said, just in case there's a fire. Whoa. Like and this was hundreds of years later, she came back, and she was still obsessed with that baby in her arms. And oh my God, like it so kills me to think about. But that I know people resist this, but like that suffering was what she signed up for. Like the suffering is what we're here for, because we want to be reshaped, and sometimes we choose really shitty parents so that we can go in the other direction and be a better person, like it's not supposed to be fun. That's why when you find the joy, you're supposed to really revel in it, because it's going to pass.
That makes me feel better, though, honestly. I'm like, okay, great. We're suffering. We're suffering because we're supposed to be.
Like, that's why things are the way that they are. Yeah.
This is a spooky story. Do you guys want to hear it? It's actually horrible.
Oh, yeah,
Scary.
please.
Ooh, tell
It's
us.
scary. Okay.
Okay.
So I moved into this weird Riverside house, and
Already scary.
in Florida, where everybody's
right.
like, yeah. And I'm on this mattress on the floor because I haven't gotten my bed yet. Like I'm just getting all my stuff brought from LA, and it's this house that it's old. It has these doors that open so you can like run a circle around through the 2 bedrooms and through the living room. And I'm lying there sleeping with my mask on, and I feel like a herd of animals. And I have a herd of animals. I have 5 pets of foster fills. And they're like running in a circle, and they all keep jumping on the bed. And then I feel a person jump on the bed, and I pull the eye mask up, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I see a beautiful nude blonde teenage woman running with them, and she was smiling, and she like smiled at me, and I honestly was like, oh my God, she's so pretty. Like I had this like, who are you? And the animals were losing their minds, and they eventually stopped, and I went back to sleep. And then I was talking to this guy, this like crappy bartender, and he was like talking to my friends, and he was telling them that he was gonna. How vulgar can we be on this podcast?
Vulgar.
Okay, good. He was like, I'm gonna tap that witch pussy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I already bought witchpussy.com. Everybody back off. I was like owning that.
Oh man, that's incredible.
And I was messaging him, and I was getting really mad about it because he was so sweet, and then he's like bragging about it. He's, and I'm messaging him, and I'm like, oh, should I send this? And at the time, a spirit had been talking to me through the lights, which they love to do. And she starts flashing the overhead light in the living room. And I'm like, you're right. And I could feel it was a woman, and I kept thinking it was the blonde woman. And I sent it, and she was like loving it and celebrating this victory. She flashes those lights every time I'm talking to an unworthy man. So then I go out to a bar with a bunch of old friends from high school. Full disclosure, I went to high school in Florida. Okay.
That's the Florida connection. Okay.
So I'm out at this bar with my friends, and they're talking about the murder of Jennifer Duffy. And we went to school with Becky Duffy, who was just beautiful, and I'm not really putting anything together yet. And blonde, and stole a boyfriend from me. This is Jennifer's sister. She died at the same age as Jennifer, like later. Jennifer was older than us. But Becky like stole my cute surfer boyfriend, and I was like, you know what?
Becky.
You have to be with Becky Duffy. She's beautiful, and she's the nicest person in school. Like, I wasn't even mad about it.
That's such a name from like a teen movie.
Right?
Like Becky Duffy stole my boyfriend.
Becky Duffy stole. And she was just like beautiful and so sweet about it. But then they're all talking about Jennifer Duffy, and I had forgotten about this. They never caught the person. She was stabbed in her bed. She crawled to the porch, died on the porch. And they all turned to me, and they're like, Angie, you live right around the corner from where it happened. I'm like, it happened in Daytona. And they're like, no, it happened right around the corner from your house. And I was like, what the fuck? And I go home, and I start Googling it.
Was that the girl?
And there's her photo. And
That was the naked girl?
It's
The
the
naked girl.
30th anniversary of her murder that day.
And that was the naked girl.
Oh,
And I'm sitting there reading this, and the light came on above me. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting chills just telling
Oh,
it.
I have chills.
But I'm so happy. She came back to LA with me. Thank God I got her out of Florida.
She was like, girl, you're going to LA. Like,
Yeah, but it's really, so sometimes you pick up like a ghost
that aren't,
guide.
it's not somebody for
Yeah.
you. It's,
Yeah.
Or like it's not a relative. It could just be
Yeah.
somebody like hitching a ride.
Yeah. Do you guys want me to tell you about how to play with the Ouija board?
Yeah, I do want to know.
please.
Like, so you mentioned this is like an antique, or what?
It's a
what is this from?
reproduction. I thought I
Oh.
brought. Did I not bring salt? Oh, it fell out in the car. I heard something fall out in my bag. Okay, so I also.
Do you need salt? Because there might be
Well-
some in the kitchen.
So what I have is a black salt, which I made from the fire of a shaman. You take the ash and you mix it with like a sea salt, and that is what I use to lock down a space so that you can get attachments pretty easily doing this stuff. I've had spirit attachments.
What does an attachment mean?
Oh my
like someone who
God.
stays with you?
They lock in, like they get in your ribs, they get all up in your lungs, they
Like
make you
possession?
sick. It's like possession.
Okay, so
And
that's
so
what
maybe don't
scares
play
me
with
about
Ouija
when
boards.
you
No.
were when you were like Ouija's curse. I'm like, I don't
You probably won't get one from a Ouija board, but I did have.
probably. What are the odds of that?
Well, you will. There are okay. Here's the worst thing that ever happened to me from playing with Ouija boards when I was a kid or teenager. I did have, and I had a creepy witch say to me, "This guy's like, you're having dreams about sex with people and you can't see their faces." And I was like, how dare you? I was in an occult shop, and I was like, how did you know that? And he's like, you playing with a Ouija board? Yeah. And I was. And he's like, you need to lock it down. Stop doing that. And so they can. Like,
I've only ever done this at like a sleepover when I was a teenager, you know. But
and that's usually, it's 99% of the time it's just tricksters, and they're making up words, and they're not real spirits.
Right.
And so if you lock it down, you won't get attachments.
we probably have salt in the kitchen.
Well, the black salt is good because it's the fire
I
ash.
see.
I want the black. If we're
Let's-
doing it,
oh,
we're
wait,
gonna
so
want
it's
the
in your
black
car?
salt.
It's way cooler.
Can we do it really quick? Do we have
Do you
time?
want to?
I feel like it would be really fun to like
I'm not
demo
looking
it.
for any more attachments. Like,
I don't know. No, if she gets the black salt, we'll be okay. Please salt. I don't want any
So
evil.
we're just gonna salt a little circle.
you salt the board.
And you want to do
the nice Himalayan pink stuff.
clockwise.
Okay.
Okay.
To lock it in. So we'll just put our fingers on the planchette.
Okay.
And is anybody here? Okay, and make sure your hand is like ready to move. Is anyone with us? Come on. See, but this is the thing too, when you do salt, the bad ones can't talk. Is anybody here?
Does it just like move? Like, do you feel?
Yeah, it'll just.
Wait, is it just like moving?
Sometimes they need
What
to
does
like.
it feel like? Why don't you describe it?
It's like pulling. I don't know.
the
I'm very
fuck?
stressed right now.
Aww.
It's so you really feel like you're not.
I'm not touching. My hand
Is
is
anybody
like
here?
hovering.
Is anyone here?
It's pulling in a way that like your fingers couldn't push it.
Right, and I mean, the thing about Ouija boards is they do kind of like.
Is it the point that you're looking at? Because it's at the top of the board.
It's
It's like
moving.
pointing at me, which is freaking me out.
Is somebody here? Sometimes they do like a swooping thing to get a feel for the board. This feels like somebody hasn't talked through one in a while. Is anybody here? Okay.
Wait, but it just spelled out here. It just went H-E-R-E.
Where?
it did?
Where's the
Yeah,
H? Where's the
it
H?
started at H-E-R-E.
Oh, good job. Okay.
Thank God you're paying attention.
One of us here can spell, clearly.
It's spelled here.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Do you want to tell us your name? Can you tell us your name?
I swear it did.
No, you're right. You're right. Isn't it?
Can you tell us your name? Will you spell your name?
I'm fucking shaking.
I'm having a full panic attack. I just need you guys to know.
Did they do
Was
E?
there an E or was it just R?
It felt like it kind of started on E, but it may have been moving past.
Well, E was the end of here, right?
Yeah, it's true. Or it could just be RG. Could they be like initials?
They'll usually spell a name, but they feel like they haven't done a Ouija board before.
First time.
They're drunk.
Was there a first time caller?
ARG.
R-E-G? Is it Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
I was just thinking that when you said
is my step grandma.
What?
I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out.
Why?
Is she dead?
Yeah.
R-E-G?
R
Where's
E
the
G I.
Wait.
Really?
Her name's Regina.
Oh.
And she was like very into like woo woo stuff like
Is this Regina? How long ago did she pass?
in COVID, so like 2021.
Oh, wish that would be Sleepy. Is your name
Sleepy.
But she
Regina?
was like very into like woo, like she loved this kind of stuff. She used to do like rain dances, like
Rain
Oh my God,
dances.
wait. It's going to the yes. You just said,
Are
is your
you
name
Regina?
Regina? Or she wants to spell it.
you guys, I'm freaking. I'm
Wait,
freaking
so
out
Justina,
right now.
it's just pulling your finger?
I'm not doing. I'm telling you, like my arm is like hovering. It's
Wait,
also feeling a little
it just
heavy.
did Regina.
There, she did it.
It just fully did
Regina, do you have a message for her?
Oh my God.
I forgot. One of the rules with Ouija boards is only one person's supposed to talk to them.
sorry.
But you can all talk. We're just not supposed to all ask questions.
They're all like,
Do you have a message? Do you want to ask her anything in particular?
Oh my God.
I'm like so in shock right now that I don't even know what I want to know. Like,
Yeah, you asked Justina.
this is like freaking me out right now. I mean, just like I don't know anything. Like,
She might just be saying hi. She doesn't seem super energetic.
yeah. She's tired.
That's a long name to spell, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she did spell here.
Oh, she did.
Ask a
Okay, do
question.
you have a message? G-E-P?
Jeepers?
Sometimes they spell real bad. G-E-P. No, not G-E-P.
Oh, not
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry. Please start from the
Sorry,
beginning.
G-E.
Wait, what if it's get out? I'm scared.
No.
I don't
what if
think
it's
so.
in Polish?
She's fluent.
Are you?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Should I ask a question? Like maybe
Ask a
it's,
yes or no
I want
question.
to know. I guess like one thing that I did think about a lot after she died is like, is she okay? Like I feel like I didn't like really see like a lot of
Oh,
like.
God. Like, is she going to say no?
I know that's gonna, okay. Maybe that wasn't the question I wanted to ask.
Oh, no. Oh,
Oh my God.
no. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so the follow-up questions are not yes or no.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
She could be dramatic, though, too.
Yeah,
Because she's still new to the other side, so they're still, like, with ego a little bit.
I'm like unwell. Oh my God.
She could...
I don't know what to do right now. I'm like at a loss right now.
What can we do to comfort her?
Let me see if she'll show me anything. Showing me a fish bone, like a dead fish, like all the skeleton. That's also very dramatic.
Does that mean anything?
I don't know. She's showing me a shoehorn or something. She's showing
My
me
grandpa puts on his shoes with a shoehorn, all like insane.
I have like full fucking body chills. I'm shaking.
I'm like stressed right now.
Regina.
How can we like comfort Regina? I want to help her.
Regina, is there anything that we could do? Can we send you love? Can we send you love and include you in our prayers later? Would you like that? She gave me, like, I had a weird little pressure at the front of my head, and then she was showing me something like pressure on the sides of the head. Did she have any kind of headaches or anything that you know about?
Not headaches, but that's interesting that you said the head, because she used to, when she would like babysit me, when I would go to sleep, she would like rub my forehead, and like that was a lot. Like, I think about that memory a lot.
Wow. I mean, it could even be that, because sometimes they don't touch you lightly.
No, but that was like her thing. Like she would do, it was like exactly that kind of tapping.
That's right where I got it. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
She's here because she has love for you, but she does feel like I would light a candle for her every night. Like you could get those dollar store white ones and just burn a candle for her, especially through October, because
You could spend more than $1. Get a nice candle.
No, my mom is like a big like light a candle in church person.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I feel like this is like very
Yeah.
she really wants you to acknowledge her.
me.
Yeah, they do want to be remembered. They need to be remembered.
Yeah.
Do we how do we close out this
Do you say
Okay,
goodbye?
Yeah, you always want
Oh.
to say goodbye. Thank you for talking to us, Regina. We're all gonna send you love. Goodbye. Please say goodbye. Please don't keep spelling. They're supposed to usually say farewell.
So you just feel this thing like moving, and you're
I'm
not pushing
I,
it.
I want to be super clear. I'm not.
Yeah, like I
using
feel like you need to
any-
clarify for everyone
No,
watching
but
this,
also
like
you guys
you are
are
not
freaking-
pushing this around.
My grandpa's name starts with an M.
Ooh, we can just close
Shoehorn
it down.
grandpa?
Shoehorn grandpa.
Just send her love. Just send her love.
Take my hand off?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And it takes forever sometimes.
To
like
get 'em
it's
off.
it takes forever. Oh, you know what's really fun? Oh my God, I should have brought my spirit box, but that takes a time. That's
We need like a whole
so many
second
things,
day,
yeah.
dude.
that is wild. That'll really knock your
What's
socks
a
off.
spirit box?
You basically give AM radio to the spirit world.
Oh,
and
that's
you
scary.
This is the
You hear
scary part.
things?
Someone puts an eye mask on and the earphones on so they can't hear or see what we're doing and saying, and they sit with the spirit box and you let the spirit move the dial and they jump
wanna
around
do that.
words and
Oh,
they
no, no,
spell
I'm too
scared
sentences.
for
that.
It will, and one person sits and you ask one question and they answer. They answer in like
Oh my
complete
God, I wanna
sentences
do it, but I'm too
sometimes.
Okay, we're gonna do a part 2
3,
through
4.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm serious. Like I want to.
Yeah. Wild.
I am shaking.
That was insane. I wasn't. If I'm being honest, I didn't like really feel like I was gonna believe in this. And that scared the shit out of me.
Like you were more skeptical than me about the Ouija board, I think. But
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I just-
it's so sweet. I'm like, this is nothing.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
blow your friggin' socks off. like, come over for
This
a
is just the
seance.
beginning.
No,
Yeah.
You'll see
I want
stuff
to.
sway, like it gets
Oh
wild.
boy.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
so
my
fun though.
God.
It's so fun. And like we have access. Like we can get
Yeah.
answers. Like I have seen things. I really feel like this is how I got so happy, is by having a balance with this world.
wow. Angela, I would like to do like 6 hours of recording with you. I wish we
you.
had 6 more hours. We have to wrap this up. This has been probably one of the coolest experiences of my life.
Eye-opening. Oh my God.
I'm
Regina
disbelief.
came like this was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Quickly before we go, please plug again
Oh.
your podcast, how people can find you, like your Instagram.
My Instagram is Dear Witchy Poo. That's the name of my one podcast. I also feel free to bombard Ryan Singer and tell him to podcast This Is Where the Magic Happens Again. He's been hunting Bigfoots in Florida and very busy.
And people can book readings with you, right?
Yes, they can book
Okay.
readings through my
And
website.
seances.
Yes.
Okay.
I love to host seances.
Let's do one.
Yeah. Oh my God. You could film it at my house. I designed it to be a beautiful seance space.
I mean,
My podcasts. yeah, book a reading. I don't know what else I'm plugging. Yeah, done. And yeah, have fun at Halloween. It's the funnest, best holiday.
Thank you so much for coming today. That was
you for
incredible.
having me.
I'm shaking. I'm not, oh my God. That was insane.
You guys were so fun. I appreciate that you're all true believers.
And thank you, Nick, for joining us today. This was so much fun.
I know. Wow. I had no idea that this was going to happen.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
My mind's blown.
We're like, come on a fun podcast.
You can follow Nick at
my Instagram is Nick Lehman. My TikTok is Nick Stop Talking. And
Never.
Yeah.
Very Virgo.
Yeah.
We love you. Come back. And
having me.
thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.